The same thing is wrong with us all.
You know, what's that? Speaking of classic lit, what is it? The beginning of Anna Karenina, all families are...
All happy families are
in-
alike. All unhappy families are unhappy in their own way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same thing. All of us sleep in the same weird way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Welcome to the pod.
Yay! How festive.
We're doing it.
Books, 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 books.
Hello and welcome to Didn't Read It, the podcast that is festively haunted.
As always. Deep in our bowels.
I mean, depending on how you elect to celebrate the season,
Yes.
you may or may not have some deeply haunted bowels.
True. Like how much gelatinous fruitcake.
If there's one thing I know about my neurodivergent queer homies, it's that they have tummy troubles.
Yeah. God gives his hardest struggles to his strongest soldiers.
And when you start layering eggnog on top of that, it just all hell breaks
No
loose.
egg-based beverage should be consumed with
Soy
liquor
nog.
in it. Oy.
Coconut nog.
Oh no, I mean if I'm gonna drink eggnog, I drink the full bore.
Oh yeah, for sure. Me too. But
With like a little shot of peppermint schnapps in it.
I've never tried that.
Oh, it's a delight.
I usually do like a rum or a bourbon, but
The peppermint schnapps, I know it sounds like it wouldn't work with like the cinnamony sort of, but it's a delight.
yeah. I mean, I feel like I've had like a peppermint eggnog coffee something.
Probably.
So yeah, just that, but alcohol.
But with alcohol.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. The one reason to buy peppermint schnapps in your 30s.
Better than Rumplemints.
Oh, that's really triggering for our collective in-person friend group.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yikes.
The Rumplemints lore is strong.
Is strong. And I'm sure the same way that like the Goldschlager and Fireball in South Carolina, the unofficial state beverage of South Carolina, Fireball.
Again, how festive.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Don't have a Rumplemints shot taking contest
In
with
someone's
your friends
backyard.
in someone's backyard
While trying to do physical feats.
with a wrestling belt as the prize. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
It's not necessary.
No. Certainly not at this age.
As a
My 22-year-old body could do a lot of things that my 35-year-old body cannot.
well, we all know the winner cheated at the end of the day.
It's true.
That's the real hot goss.
Piping tea.
Almost a decade
Here.
after the fact.
Piping tea. You heard it here first. A decade later.
The Royal Rumble Championship was stolen.
Robbed.
By
Robbed.
by the Grinch.
This is just
The
for
Royal
us.
Rumble Grinch.
I do feel like if the Grinch had a beverage,
It would be Rumplemints.
it would be Rumplemints.
It would be Rumplemints.
For sure.
Yeah, for like the Grinch would appreciate an alcohol that tasted like mouthwash.
Yes. Because he likes bad things. So he probably loves Malort.
Oh. It's true.
I know. It's the Grinch's choice.
Maddie, we never introduced you.
Well, welcome. It's me. I'm back.
You're back. You're back.
Merry Christmas.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. This is Maddie, friend of the pod. Back again to be told a spooky, haunted, ethereal, problematic, probably
A holiday
haunting story, which I'm very excited about. Because do you like the holidays? Are you like a Christmas? Do you love?
Me?
Yeah.
I love the holidays.
I
Like
know,
unabashedly. I love like from October through New Year's, I'm just having a blast because I love food.
Check.
I love fireplaces. Like,
Check.
Like anywhere I can find them.
Yeah, I
Any
know.
open flame, I'm a fan.
I like a moth.
Yes.
You are drawn.
Exactly.
I've
Indoor,
seen it.
outdoor,
Yes.
like I don't care. Just open flames. Big fan. I love ritualistically watching movies once a year
Sure.
on a theme.
Sure.
Big fan of that.
Yep.
And I love gift giving.
It is one of my top love languages.
Yeah. I love finding
The fun thing.
like really good gifts for people. And so like I don't give a shit about anyone's god.
Bringing it back to reality. Yep.
But like all of
God, but I love presents.
yeah, so like all of the seasonal accoutrement, like I am
Yeah.
into it. So yeah, I love
everything except for the quote unquote reason for the season.
pretty much.
Yeah.
But what if the actual reason for the season
Is friendship.
is ghosts?
Okay. I'm dialed in. For me, Christmas is all about the Muppet Christmas Carol.
That too. Yeah.
It's really like it's the thing that brings me the most joy.
Well, and that's actually a very good sort of jumping off point.
Great.
Because the real reason for the season, if classic Christmas literature is to be believed,
Is to teach you a lesson.
is vengeance.
Yeah.
From beyond the grave.
Sure. That hand rises from the grave to grip you and pull you.
Yeah.
Teach you something.
Yeah.
Cause a transformation.
This Christmas, get into the reason for the season by scaring the ever-loving shit out of someone
You love.
who wronged you.
Or that you hate. I did bring a Ouija board so we can seance in some folks. Give them our thoughts on their Christmas plans.
We can finally have vengeance for the Royal Rumble. Miscarriage of justice.
God. If there was ever a wrong that needed to be righted in the year of our Lord 2025.
You will be visited by 3 drunk ghosts. Do you like the holidays?
Yes, for very similarly, like not for any kind of religious reason, but I love the like fanfare of it. I don't do a lot of decorating, but I love to look at other people's decorations.
Yeah.
I love lights,
Yes.
and our fair city does a very good job of showing up in the lights manner,
They do.
and especially in the very lazy way that is just like throwing things onto trees, which I had never really experienced until I moved here. And I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, and then I do love to like find gifts. I also like the cold. Even like not that it gets so cold here, but I enjoy the coziness.
Yeah. Throw blankets. Slippers.
I love to have a little lap blanket.
little hot water bottle.
Yes.
Yeah.
A dog.
Yes. Both.
All of the above.
Well, the story I have brought you is not terrifically cozy, and mostly because there's not a lot of real estate for it to be cozy in. It's got a plan, and
The plan is vengeance.
yes, vengeance. It needs to get there. But would you like to join me on a romp
Let's.
through a classic Victorian Christmas ghost story?
The best kind.
Hell yeah.
No one did Christmas ghost story like a Victorian.
They were the best at it.
Yes.
They perfected the art. And then we immediately lost it, which is a huge bummer.
It is.
But we're bringing it back. Here it didn't read it.
We alone
We alone.
lead the charge. Someone call the New Yorker.
Someone needs to.
That's the gift you're looking for this season.
That is the gift I'm looking for this season.
A Christmas ghost story short story set
Yeah.
from this century.
Yeah, like I want new ones. I want someone to publish them now.
All right, let's romp.
All right.
Where are we? Who are we? What are we?
So, come with me on a journey through A Strange Christmas Game
Ooh.
by Charlotte Riddell. It was originally published in 1868.
Okay.
So we are like, this is peak Victoria.
Yeah, we are in it.
And Charlotte Riddell, as a quick aside, was one of those writers who was like the breadwinner of her family. It's
A bit of a rarity.
not as much of a rarity as you would think.
Did she publish under her own name at the time?
She did.
Okay.
And one of those women. So as we've mentioned before on the podcast, writing was actually one of a very few careers that was open to women in terms of like it was considered respectable. You could do it from home. You could make pretty good money doing it if you were very good at churning things out. And Charlotte has the biography of many Victorian women writers, which was like her father was a useless piece of shit. And then later her husband was also kind of a useless piece of shit.
Marry what you know. Sure. Okay.
And she started writing to make money when her father became useless. and then kept writing to make money when her husband went bankrupt.
The load's always been on our backs, ladies.
And I bring this up in part because it's just something to keep in mind as we go through our tale.
Oh, all right.
That Charlotte is not a creature of unabashed privilege, shall we say.
Yes, all right, all right.
All right. So now, a strange Christmas game. When, through the death of a distant relative, I, John Lester, succeeded to the Martingale estate, there could not have been found in the length and breadth of England a happier pair than myself and my only sister Claire. We were not such utter hypocrites as to affect sorrow for the loss of our kinsman, Paul Lester, a man whom we had never seen, of whom we had heard but little, and that little unfavorable, at whose hands we had never received a single benefit, who was, in short, as great a stranger to us as the then Prime Minister, the Emperor of Russia, or any other human being utterly removed from our extremely humble sphere of life.
Okay.
So,
Our estranged relative has passed. We have been called to his estate.
and we have inherited his estate.
Oh, we've inherited it. All right.
Yes, so John Lester has inherited
Paul.
Martingale from Paul Lester.
Okay. And here he comes with his beloved sister Claire.
Exactly. And they have been, up until this point, broke.
All right.
Poor as church mice. And just to really make sure that we understand the dynamic at play, it is emphasized to us that John and Claire had no expectations of this estate. And so it says that even on their dreariest days, they couldn't have possibly wished him any ill.
Fair. Okay.
So they're coming into it
Totally blind.
totally blind, but also, like, ethically, shall we say, squeaky clean.
Yes.
Right.
These were not people that were like hoping for his demise because of what they would inherit.
Yes, exactly. And in fact, it's pointed out that they only inherited it because Paul died intestate. And his widow is still alive, which is a little like, whatever. It's fine. John also takes pains to tell us that he has a good relationship with the widow. So everything is fine. No one has done anything wrong. Merry Christmas. Here's a giant house.
All right. Here's an estate.
Yes. That being said, it says, not that Martingale was much of an estate, as country properties go. The Lesters who had succeeded to that domain from time to time, during the course of a few hundred years, could by no stretch of courtesy have been called prudent men. In regard to their posterity, they were indeed scarcely honest, for they parted with manors and farms, in a manner at once so baronial and so unbusinesslike, that Martingale at length, in the hands of Jeremy Lester, the last resident owner, melted to a mere little dot in the map of Bedfordshire. So it's an estate that has
Dwindled.
It's still...
Because of poor management.
Yes.
Okay.
So, again, very emphatic here. This is not fuck you money. It's life-changing.
But it's still meager on the scale of wealth at that time.
Yes, we're not being launched to the tippy top of society. We're just suddenly not starving to death.
Great.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Now, speaking of Jeremy Lester.
Huh. What's his deal?
Concerning this Jeremy Lester, there was a mystery. No man could say what had become of him. He was in the oak parlor at Martingale one Christmas Eve, and before the next morning he had disappeared, to reappear in the flesh no more.
Oh.
Yeah. Overnight, one Mr. Worley, a great friend and boon companion of Jeremy's, had sat playing cards with him until after 12 o'clock chimes, then took leave of his host and rode home under the moonlight. After that, no person, as far as could be ascertained, ever saw Jeremy Lester alive. And it says that Jeremy, because he didn't have a particularly reputable lifestyle, wasn't reported missing for a while.
Oh.
It took a minute for his servants to be like,
Wait, where is he?
He's disappeared. But after a few weeks, which also just, if you're the kind of person that no one reports missing
Right.
for
You're a real rogue.
a few weeks.
You're a real rake.
Eventually, people start making inquiries, and it says rewards were offered, advertisements inserted, but still Jeremy made no sign. And so, in course of time, the heir-at-law, Paul Lester, took possession of the house and went down to spend the summer months at Martingdale with his rich wife and her 4 children by a first husband. And Paul Lester, much like Jeremy, well, not quite as badly, or not Jeremy, hang on, oh my god,
John.
thank you. And Paul Lester, much like John, is a working stiff who's a little bit elevated by this inheritance, although he's a lawyer.
Esquire.
Yeah.
And he must have, like, had something going for him to have landed his rich wife.
Sure. But what it says is that everyone assumes that he's going to give up the barristering because he's overworked. So he's down on the pecking order. But he and his rich wife moved to Martingdale in the summer, and by January, without any explanation, have moved back to London, closed the house up, installed a caretaker, and they never go back.
Little bit sus.
And then 40 years go by.
Oh.
Yes. And Paul dies.
And his wife lives, but we have a good relationship with her.
Uh-huh.
And the house does not go to her
No.
because it's spooky.
Well, maybe she doesn't want it.
Maybe she
I don't
doesn't want it. Maybe she was like, Paul, if you die, do not leave me that hellhole.
So he dies intestate, and for whatever reason, it's John's now.
Sure. Why not?
Why not? And so, 41 years after the disappearance of Jeremy Lester, Claire and I went down to inspect our inheritance. I say our because Claire had stuck bravely to me in poverty, grinding poverty, and prosperity was not going to part us now. What was mine was hers, and that she knew, God bless her, without my needing to tell her so.
All right.
Yeah.
Siblings joined by their adversity,
Yes.
rising above together. No one gets left behind.
John, the starving artist, and Claire, who knows what Claire was doing. We never find out.
Grinding, apparently.
Yes. Just grinding.
Hustling.
Grinding through the poverty.
This is the beginning of hustle culture.
And so they inherit the house. They go, and they're,
Obviously, you want to see it.
yeah.
Someone gives you a house,
And so they arrive at Martingdale,
which has a caretaker?
which has a caretaker.
Okay.
And they immediately start hearing rumors about their new home. It says, people said Mr. Jeremy walked at Martingdale. He had been seen, it was averred, by poachers, by gamekeepers, by children who had come to use the park as a cut-through to school, by lovers who kept their tryst under the elms and beeches. As for the caretaker and his wife, the third in residence since Jeremy Lester's disappearance, the man gravely shook his head when questioned, while the woman stated that wild horses, or even wealth untold, should not draw her into the red bedroom, nor into the oak parlor after dark. I have heard my mother tell, sir, it was her as followed old Mrs. Reynolds, the first caretaker, how there were things went on in these self-same rooms as might make any Christian's hair stand on end. Such stamping and swearing and knocking about on furniture, and then tramp, tramp up the great staircase, and along the corridor, and so into the red bedroom, and then bang, and then tramp, tramp again. They do say, sir, Mr. Paul Lester met him once, and from that time the oak parlor has never been opened. I never went inside it myself.
Oh, okay. So the house is haunted.
That's what the caretakers are saying.
Yes. And apparently all the tryst havers and the children and the poachers and the... Okay.
Uh-huh, and possibly Paul himself, who is now dead, so we can't ask.
Could we ask his wife?
Apparently not.
Okay.
But upon hearing this, John takes himself to go see the oak parlor.
Well, obviously, it's like, how could you not?
You'd have to. I mean,
Someone's like, oh, stomping and swearing and knocking around, but nary a soul in the house.
mm-hmm.
Obviously, ghost hunter style, I have to go sit in that room with some kind of like EMF reader.
Victorian EMF.
Yeah.
We're getting into steampunk now.
Yep. Everyone has goggles on all of a sudden.
And it's great because this is where I am quietly reminded that John, our narrator, is an artist, because he goes to check out the oak parlor, and this is the dead of summer that they're moving in, and everything looks, the August sun is streaming in, and it says it's an old-fashioned, plainly furnished apartment with a large table in the center, a smaller in a recess by the fireplace, chairs ranged against the walls, and a dusty, moth-eaten carpet upon the floor. A picture of some sea fight hung over the mantelpiece, while another work of art about equal in merit hung between the windows. Altogether an utterly prosaic and yet not uncheerful apartment, from out of which the ghosts flitted as soon as daylight was lit into it. So he's like,
oh, okay. He's like, this is fine.
It's fine. It's boring and poorly decorated.
And this art, trash.
And these men had terrible taste in art.
All right.
It's
something tells me John will rue the day.
It's also a little bit of I feel like it's a little bit of the author bleeding in there, just being like, yeah, some dad art of a sea fight, like
some Clive Cussler novels.
Yeah, exactly.
Something about the Henley pulling a submarine up.
The kind of print that your dad puts up in his
that
basement.
He bought at like the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay.
And when your mom tries to make and get rid of it, he's like, it's art.
He's like, this is a famous print. No, it's not.
Yeah. So that is Martingale.
And we're unafraid.
And we are unafraid. It's the dead of summer.
The summer sun shines in.
But before we can get too wedged in, Martingale is going to need
some zhuzhing.
It's going to need some redecorating. It's going to need some work. And our narrator John is not going to embark on the zhuzhing until he has a better idea of what his overall financial picture is, right?
Because I assume, we've dwindled, but is there any, land left? Or does he have tenants?
So there is still an income. It's not explained.
Gotcha.
But there is still an income from the estate.
Okay.
And he's kind of, he's a prudent man. And this is underlined multiple times. He is a prudent man.
Who's done nothing wrong.
Yes. It's got a little bit of that, very contemporary main character energy where it's like, and John, who was a good person.
And Tiny Tim, who did not die.
Yes.
I say that all year long.
I do too. Yeah. And so there is an income. He doesn't have sort of the measure of it yet. He doesn't want to spend a bunch of money on this house until he understands what his financial situation is.
Sure.
But what he does know is that his financial situation is just good enough that he and Claire can do something they've wanted to do for their entire lives, which is go to Europe.
Oh.
So they go down, they sort of poke around the house. They're in the house briefly, but then they pack up and they haul off to Italy.
Good for them.
Yeah. It says,
oh no, that means they'll return and the summer sun won't be shining into all of the rooms.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh no.
It says, we could not tell what a year might bring forth, as Claire sagely remarked. It was wise to take our pleasure while we could. And accordingly, before the end of August arrived, we were wandering around the continent, loitering at Rouen, visiting the galleries at Paris, and talking of extending our 1 month of enjoyment into 3. So they're getting what for them is the best perk of this new lifestyle, which is hell yes, European vacation. We're doing the art stuff. We're doing galleries. We're making friends with other aristocratic families.
Fancy.
Yes. So when they are in Rome, they meet Mr. Cronson and his family, who turn out to be neighbors of theirs. Their estate
Kismet.
is right next to Martingale, and they start traveling around with them.
Oh, I bet they know some lore.
Well, this is exciting at first because John is the one primarily pushing this connection with the Cronsons, because the Cronsons have a daughter.
Oh.
The Cronsons have a daughter named Mabel.
Mabel?
And John is hot to trot for Mabel.
Oh, he's smitten.
But Claire is not pleased with this.
Oh.
Because there is a girl back in England
Oh, that John has made.
that John was
Advances.
very close to. And what it says was, the girl in England had not despised John Lester, artist, while Miss Cronson indisputably set her cap at John Lester of Martingdale, and would have turned away her pretty face from a poor man's admiring glance. This I can see plainly enough now, but I was blind then, and should have proposed to Mabel, that was her name, before the winter was over, had news not suddenly arrived of the illness of Mrs. Cronson Sr.
Ah, so she just wants someone who will love her brother for who he is and not for his newly minted
Correct. Yeah.
estate.
Claire has the better judgment here,
Great.
but we're doing the new lifestyle, right?
Well,
We've
sure.
inherited an estate, and now we're flirting with other members of the gentry.
Obviously.
Like this
When
is,
in Rome.
This is literally, yes.
Literally.
But like this is our chance, right? Like we can marry into the upper crust. We can cement our position.
We can get family money.
Yes.
Except Grandma is gravely ill.
Yeah, so this is put on hold.
Okay.
The Cronsons dip out, and Claire and John, at a slower pace, also make their way back to England. It says, a little out of humor with each other. Yeah. So it's this new lifestyle has put them a little at odds.
Sure.
And now it's the middle of November,
Retro.
and they've arrived back at Martingdale. And it says that they found the place anything but romantic or pleasant. The walks were wet and sodden. The trees were leafless. There were no flowers, save a few late pink roses blooming in the garden. It had been a wet season, and the place looked miserable.
Welcome to England.
Welcome home!
It's soggy.
Uh-huh. And the Cronsons are still absent. They're spending Christmas in Norfolk with old Mrs. Cronson. So their new neighbors who they could be broing down with aren't there. Claire had originally planned on inviting a friend down, but feels like she can't because the house is just too
Shabby.
and dreary. It says, altogether, Martingdale seemed dreary enough, and the ghost stories we had laughed at while sunshine flooded the room became less unreal when we had nothing but blazing fires and wax candles to dispel the gloom. They became more real when servant after servant left us to seek situations elsewhere, when noises grew frequent in the house, when we ourselves, Claire and I, with our own ears, heard the tramp-tramp, the banging, and the chattering which had been described to us. My dear reader, you doubtless are free from superstitious fancies.
Wrong.
You pooh-pooh the existence of ghosts, and only wish you could find a haunted house in which to spend a night, which is all very brave and praiseworthy. But wait until you are left in a dreary, desolate old country mansion, filled with the most unaccountable sounds, without a servant, with none save an old caretaker and his wife, who, living at the extremest end of the building, heard nothing of the tramp-tramp, bang-bang, going on at all hours of the night.
Sad.
So, Claire and John are fully ensconced now in what they are increasingly convinced
Is a haunted house.
is a haunted house. But my favorite thing about this, so if you are familiar at all with the genre of not just the Victorian Christmas ghost story, I mean especially the Victorian Christmas ghost story, but Victorian ghost stories in a general sense, it's that it's always a giant house, right?
Sure.
They're always very aristocratic, these ghosts. And a lot of the time what you encounter are stories where the family has been haunted for decades, generations, and everyone's just like, yeah, you know, that's the f***ed up scary room.
That's the room we don't go in.
Don't go in.
Okay?
But these are practical people. These are practical people who have had to get their hands dirty, and they have had to work for a living.
And now, here they are in this, rattling around in this big old house, and now they also have to admit there's a ghost?
And so my favorite thing is that A of all, he jumps straight to like, it's a Victorian ghostly Christmas, Scooby-Doo, because he says, at first I imagined the noises were produced by some evil-disposed persons who wished, for purposes of their own, to keep the house uninhabited.
And I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you mangy kids.
Just like, and I wrote that in the margins. It's a Victorian Christmas, Scooby-Doo. And now I really want that to exist.
Yes, I went down a big rabbit hole. Do you remember the Halloween Scooby-Doo in Salem of our childhood with the witch girl band, the Hex?
Yes.
Hex Girls, Hex. I went down a real rabbit hole that led me to want to watch this Scooby-Doo in Salem. I think it was like a movie. It was like a...
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I had it on VHS as a child.
I need to go find out if there's like a Christmas ghost Scooby-Doo.
I feel confident there is.
There's gotta be.
Yeah.
So yes, I was very tickled that John immediately, like,
was like ready to pull like the hood off of some men,
some ne'er-do-well
who've been doing hijinks to scare them.
But that turns out not to be the case. Claire and John acquire enough firsthand experience that they're like, there is no way this is anything but supernatural. And so their second conclusion is, being practical people, and unlike our predecessors, not having the money to live where and how we liked, we decided to watch and see whether we could trace any human influence in the matter. If not, it was agreed that we would pull down the right wing of the house and the principal staircase.
I love it. It's like, we are not rich enough to move, so like, let's investigate. Let's dig deeper. And
this is my favorite, like, the real practice, like,
just get rid of it.
Yeah, just demolish a chunk of the house.
Just get rid of it. Don't be stupid.
Just knock it down like Trump knocked down half the White. Yeah. Oh my God.
It's haunted. The tea is piping hot here on Didn't Read It. Part of the White House was haunted.
Trump was being haunted by 3 ghosts who were trying to make him a better person.
And instead, he did the practical thing, which is tear it down.
Yeah. So John and Claire are like, if we cannot resolve this haunting issue, we will just demolish the haunted parts of the house.
I would like to just, from here on in this moment in my life forward, anytime I see anything being demolished, assume it's because someone thought it was haunted.
Someone hit a wall with a ghost.
Tear down that wall. The Berlin Wall was haunted.
I'm sure it was.
I'm sure if there ever was,
my God.
If there was ever anything that was haunted,
it was the Berlin Wall.
It was surely the Berlin Wall.
So they have a plan.
Okay. But because they're reasonable.
Because they are reasonable.
And also because they're not so wealthy that they can just remove. They have to figure something out.
Yes. They have to.
They have no other option.
Exactly. And they have gumption and they aren't afraid to get their hands dirty.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
Work ethic.
And so before they follow through on demolishing half the fucking house, which one imagines you wouldn't want to do until spring anyway.
Sure.
They embark essentially on a ghost monitoring campaign.
Yeah, this is Ghost Hunters, but in 1868.
Yes. And it says, for nights and nights, we sat up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Claire engaged in needlework, I reading, with a revolver lying on the table beside me. But nothing, neither sound nor appearance, rewarded our vigil. This confirmed my first ideas that the sounds were not supernatural. But just to test the matter, I determined on Christmas Eve, the anniversary of Mr. Jeremy Lester's disappearance, to keep watch myself in the red bedchamber.
Ugh.
Even to Claire, I never mentioned my intention.
Yikes.
I love the thought, by the way, that he's going to shoot a ghost.
I do love that he's like, I know what'll protect me against the supernatural. A revolver.
And so, on Christmas Eve...
On the anniversary.
Uh-huh. And of course, Christmas, that's when the ghosts come out. That's why we tell ghost stories on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is ghost time.
Right. Here we go. Going into the red room.
So he makes a big show of going to bed, like, and it says he's ostentatious about it, so you could just see him being like, I'm going to bed now.
Like too loud and like too
closes his door too hard, yeah. And then he waits until he's sure Claire has gone to bed.
And then he tiptoes out
Tiptoes.
like a little creep.
Exactly. Tiptoes into the red bedroom.
And then do we ever see him again?
Well,
John?
he goes into the red bedroom and he hides. Just in
From
case.
who? I don't know. but
Unclear.
Who's he going to shoot? Also unclear.
And he waits and waits. And eventually, especially because this is now night, like 4 or 5 of them staying up to try and catch ghosts.
Yes, he probably falls asleep. He's tired.
He does. He dozes off.
He's a sleepy guy.
And in fact is awakened at a very late hour by his sister.
Oh,
Because Claire had the same idea.
look at them both trying to self-sacrifice for the other.
She says, "John, are you here?" And he says yes and asks what she's doing up. And she says, "Come downstairs. They are in the oak parlor."
They. Plural.
Mm-hmm. I did not need any explanation as to whom she meant,
Or who I should shoot.
but crept downstairs after her, warned by an uplifted hand of the necessity for silence and caution. There was the room we left in darkness overnight, now with a bright wood fire blazing on the hearth, candles on the chimney piece, the small table pulled out from its accustomed corner, and 2 men seated beside it, playing cribbage.
Fun fact, I have a cribbage board tattooed on my arm.
I did not know that.
I did. Yeah, it's on over here.
That is a fun fact.
It is a fun fact. It's a childhood family game.
You'll have to teach me at some point.
Oh, it's so fun.
Oh, yeah. We could see the face of the younger player. It was that of a man about 25, of a man who had lived hard and wickedly, who had wasted his substance and his health, who had been, while in the flesh, Jeremy Lester. It would be difficult for me to say how I knew this, how in a moment I identified the features of the player with those of the man who had been missing for 41 years. 41 years that very night. He was dressed in the costume of a bygone period. His hair was powdered, and round his wrists there were ruffles of lace. He looked like one who, having come from some great party, had sat down after his return home to play cards with an intimate friend. On his little finger there sparkled a ring. In the front of his shirt there gleamed a valuable diamond. There were diamond buckles in his shoes, and, according to the fashion of his time, he wore knee breeches and silk stockings, which showed off advantageously the shape of a remarkably good leg and ankle.
Wow. What a weird detail to hone in on, John, but I love it.
It is funny to think about, because, you know, this man is clearly dressed in, like, very early 1800s
Garb.
you know? Yeah.
Sure.
And by the 1860s, men are wearing just trousers.
Yes.
So it is a little bit, John's like, look at them slutty little ankles.
Look at that. Look at him showing those off. But I also like the idea that he's standing there frozen, observing what he believes are 2 ghosts. And he's like, slutty little ankle. Like, that's
Yeah.
what he's paying attention to, not the fact that there's a ghost.
Look at him showing off those horror pins.
God, what a little sloot.
So the 2 men are very concentrated on their game. And after a moment, the ashes dropped on the hearth, slowly and like the snow. We could hear the rustle of the cards as they were dealt out and fell upon the table. But there was no other word spoken, till at length the player, whose face we could not see, exclaimed, "I win! The game is mine." Then his opponent took up the cards, sorted them over negligently in his hand, put them close together, and flung the whole pack in his guest's face, exclaiming, "Cheat! Liar!" There was a bustle and confusion, a flinging over of chairs, and such noise of passionate voices mingling that we could not hear a sentence which was uttered. All at once, however, Jeremy Lester strode out of the room in so great a hurry that he almost touched us where we stood. Out of the room, and tramp up the staircase to the Red Room, whence he descended in a few minutes with a couple of rapiers under his arm.
Duel.
When he re-entered the room, He gave, as it seemed to us, the other man his choice of the weapons. And then he flung open the window, and after ceremoniously giving place for his opponent to pass out first, he walked forth into the night air, Claire and I following. Moment of silence for houses that have windows big enough that you can use them as doors.
God. What is that like?
I can't imagine. And so we go out into the gardens in the snow. It's
Midnight.
It's midnight at Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's cold. The moon is shining. And we go out to a thicket of fir trees. And Jeremy measures off the ground. And it says, "When you say 3, he said at last, to the man whose back was still towards us. They had drawn lots for the ground, and the lot had fallen against Mr. Lester. He stood thus with the moonbeams falling upon him, and a handsomer fellow I would never desire to behold."
Again, a weird observation for this moment, but okay.
"1, began the other. 2. And before our kinsman had the slightest suspicion of his design, he was upon him, and his rapier through Jeremy Lester's breast."
Murder.
At the sight of that cowardly treachery, Claire screamed aloud. In a moment, the combatants had disappeared. The moon was obscured behind a cloud, and we were standing in the shadow of the firs, shivering with cold and terror. But we knew at last what had become of the late owner of Martingale, that he had fallen, not in a fair fight, but foully murdered by a false friend.
Twist.
A twist!
A twist is upon us.
A snowy Christmas twist!
Twist.
So they wake up the next morning. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas.
It's Christmas!
Merry Christmas! We figured out why our relative is haunting us. It's because he was murdered.
And it's a beautiful, snowy Christmas morning. And they go down to the village church because it's Christmas and you have to.
Yeah.
And the sexton apparently remarks to Claire that it was on just such a Christmas as this that Mr. Jeremy disappeared. Which is when Claire faints.
Claire's like, I've had enough. I've been awake for like 4 days straight. I just watched the ghost of my distant relative get murdered. I've had enough.
Yeah, Claire has hit a wall.
She's like, I'm tapping out.
So she faints and is carried into the vestry, which is when John has to confess to the vicar
What we've seen.
the whole thing. And so they have to wait a little while for the snow to melt. But he and the vicar go back to the fir trees. And you know what?
They dig.
In the thicket of firs, they find the remains of John
Oh,
Lester.
not even buried. Just like lying in the thicket.
That's how they make it sound.
Wow.
Yeah.
They really didn't look very hard for him, did they?
No. That's the thing is like, you didn't try that hard.
I figured that they were at least going to have to dig him up.
Maybe they didn't want to find him.
No.
But they do find his body, which is identified by the ring and the diamond buckles and the sparkling breastpin. And it says, "And Mr. Cronson, who in his capacity as magistrate came over to inspect these relics, was visibly perturbed at my narrative. Pray, Mr. Lester, did you in your dream see the face of the gentleman, your kinsman's opponent?" "No," I answered. "He sat and stood with his back to us all the time." "There is nothing more, of course, to be done in the matter," observed Mr. Cronson. "Nothing," I replied. And there the affair would doubtless have terminated, but that a few days afterward, when we were dining at Cronson Park,
Uh-oh.
Claire all of a sudden dropped the glass of water she was carrying to her lips, and exclaiming, "Look, John, there he is!" rose from her seat, and with a face as white as the tablecloth, pointed to a portrait hanging on the wall. "I saw him for an instant when he turned his head toward the door as Jeremy Lester left it," she explained. "That is he!" Of what followed after this identification, I have only the vaguest recollection. Servants rushed hither and thither. Mrs. Cronson dropped off her chair into hysterics. The young ladies gathered around their mamma. Mr. Cronson, trembling, attempted some kind of an exclamation, while Claire kept praying to be taken away, only to be taken away. I took her away, not merely from Cronson Park, but from Martingdale. Before we left the latter place, however, I had an interview with Mr. Cronson, who said the portrait Claire had identified was that of his wife's father, the last person who saw Jeremy Lester alive. He's an old man now, finished Mr. Cronson. A man of over 80, who has confessed everything to me. You won't bring further sorrow and disgrace upon us by making this matter public? I promised him I would keep silence. But the story gradually oozed out, and the Cronsons left the country.
Deuces.
My sister never returned to Martingdale. She married and is living in London. Though I assure her there are no strange noises in my house, she will not visit Bedfordshire, where the girl she wanted me so long ago to think of seriously is now my wife and the mother of my children. The end.
Perfect. I loved it.
So that was a strange Christmas game.
I loved it. I thought there'd be more game afoot. I guess the game of cribbage is the game they're referring to.
And the game of murder.
Everyone knows.
The game of trying to get away with murder.
Christmas's favorite game.
So what are your thoughts? What are your takeaways? Was that adequately festive?
I loved it. I love that even like your shitty relatives want you to avenge them.
I
like that. That's nice to learn. And that once you do, as is always the case, they go away.
Yeah.
So another check in the box of avenge your relatives to not be haunted.
Yeah. If your mother-in-law won't stop breathing down your neck at the holidays, have you considered avenging her?
Just like something to think about.
Even if she's still alive.
You don't know. She probably has a nemesis.
Yeah, she probably wants to be avenged for something.
Something.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, she's a boomer woman. She wants to be avenged for something. I feel very confident.
That is very true, actually.
She has probably plenty to avenge.
There is not a woman over 50 in my life who does not need some avenging.
Yeah, some kind of evening of the scales.
Actually, I'll broaden that. There's not a woman in my life.
No, I was about to say, let's go bigger.
Who doesn't need to be avenged.
So the list is long.
Unfortunately, several of the women in my life need to be avenged on each other because that's how intergenerational trauma works.
Yeah.
But
so then you got to pick a side. Who would you rather have haunt?
what if you just keep avenging on down the chain?
Oh, so you start at the very top? I feel like, do you start at the bottom and go up?
That's tough.
And like once one happens, does it help clear out the ones above or below it?
Vengeance nesting dolls.
It's like a Jacob's ladder of vengeance and avenging. No, I liked that. Sometimes there is nothing more comforting at Christmas or any time than like just a well-honored trope.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I knew exactly what was going to happen like halfway through, but didn't stop my enjoyment of it because it's like to your point of like ritualistic pieces of the holidays. I'm like, that feels safe.
It does.
I think that's why like some of the Victorian ones don't, especially in our like very modern world now, don't read as like actually all that scary. But also because they're like so, all those tropes have trickled down for so long that they're so familiar that it's almost like rote and comforting.
Yeah.
Than it is like spooky.
Yeah, absolutely. And this one in particular, coming as it does from like, again, this is like peak Victorian ghost literature. Like we are at like the top of the market for it. Made me realize how middle class our conception of Christmas is.
Yes, sure.
Like Christmas is a holiday of the middle class. especially in its media.
Yes,
Like,
because
Christmas media is for and about the middle class specifically.
yes, and it's like very in that sort of like Christmas story-esque trope of like the big gift you get at Christmas, and like you wait all year for the Christmas gift and like the thing that you really want, and do you get it or not? And like that doesn't apply to wealthy people.
No.
Because you just get what you want when you want. You know, only children of middle or lower class have to wait all year for a single gift.
Yes, very much so. And also, like, the grinding, like, there's a reason that the really grinding poverty gets censored out of A Christmas Carol most of the time. Like,
Correct.
you don't, the whole scene with the horrific urchin children.
Yes. You mean the
Just
cabbages that sing in Muppet Christmas Carol?
just gets cut.
The cabbage heads that sing?
But, you know, like, that is like the OG Christmas narrative and the OG Christmas ghost story in a lot of
Yes,
ways.
yes.
And, like, it's very middle class, right? It's not, we want to pull Scrooge off of his perch, but we're not socialists. We're not
No, it's very like,
we're not redistributing the wealth.
and like middle class reads in like a very wholesome, like Christmas is wholesome. Christmas is about like being the best version of yourself. And like what better way to do that, I guess, than to avenge someone or bring someone down into sort of what is the most human about
Right.
us. And that is a middle class person.
Well, and that's so, like, John and Claire, right? Their Christmas gift is successfully navigating their way out of poverty without falling prey to the moral pitfalls of the aristocracy.
Twice.
Claire
saves him first, and then he saves her. It's not enough in some ways because she never wants to return because she's been scarred.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of trauma, which I understand. But yes, it's that, especially like you see the crime enacted, and like it's like, God, what a stupid thing that like only someone who had no real consequence for like work or money or their life would do.
Right.
Is like get into a stupid like fight and murder your friend.
Get into
over
a duel over cribbage. Yeah.
over a cribbage game. My whole family would be dead. My whole family would be gone.
Stemmed to, like, top to bottom.
Yeah, tip to top. We would all be dead. My aunt, side story, called me a bitch at like age 12 during a cribbage game. So like if there was a family, I'm not exaggerating, to have murdered each other over a cribbage game, I feel confident that it's fine.
Maybe you should bring fencing swords to Christmas and see what happens.
Yeah, bring a physical aspect into it. We're not being physical enough.
Bring rapiers to Christmas
And just see.
Just see how it goes.
Just see.
yeah.
Okay.
Just throw an entire deck of cards into your aunt's face and accuse her of
And
cheating.
then stomp up the stairs to my grandpa's split level home in rural Iowa.
Yes.
Pick up the 2 swords he has lying around nowhere.
For sure.
And then bring them back down. Say, we're going out the like basement door.
No, you have to storm through a window.
Well, it's a sliding glass door.
Good enough.
Out to a basement patio thing. So,
Perfect.
And we'll fight out there.
Yeah.
Like real people do.
Yeah. And one of you will cheat and murder the other.
Perfect.
And then
I
abandon
hope
your
you're
body.
listening, Marcy. I hope you're listening. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
So, like...
But see, like, even us telling that story is so ridiculous for, like, a middle-class person to do. Whereas,
That's
like,
true.
I wonder if I came from great wealth and aristocracy, I would think differently. I don't know.
Well, and they don't do the like, the classy thing, the classy and aristocratic thing would be to just deal with it,
Yes.
right? Like, you read all of these Victorian ghost stories, and, like, that is what the aristocracy, like, what the gentry do is just, like...
Yeah, it's that, like, stiff upper lip sort of, like, this is just what we do. And meanwhile, John's like, we'll just tear that wing of the house
Yeah.
down, man. We'll just get rid of it.
Like, no, we're not just gonna we're
not
not gonna live
like
with this.
And these are people that came from what was described as grinding poverty. And they're like, nah, man, not this.
So they're simultaneously, like, they are cleansing themselves of their slightly ne'er-do-well ancestor, although he's hot, so I guess that makes him...
Well, he's got slutty little ankles, so that has to count for something.
I think the continued emphasis on his attractiveness is meant to position him as, at a minimum, morally superior to his murderer.
Sure.
Because we have to remember that the Victorians are also, like, right in the thick of, like, if you are pretty, you are a good person.
Yeah, sure. Wish we had shaken that in modern times.
Nope.
Still really suffering from that one.
We love to internalize the principles of eugenics.
The trauma is real.
Which are also it's just everything is Puritanism and eugenics all the way down.
All the way down.
And then, yeah, they solve the murder and avenge him. They successfully do not marry into the aristocracy.
And also just, like, nicely, like, paced.
Yeah.
Not too long. Yeah. Not belabored.
It's a Christmas miracle.
It is. No bah humbugs over here.
And by doing so, they deserve what they get. They're different and special.
And pure of heart.
They ought to have an income from an estate because they earned it with their pluck.
With their pluck and, you know, the family vengeance. Like the fact that they avenge him and sort of, you know, set him free.
Yes.
To not haunt anymore and let his spirit rest.
While successfully turning their faces away from temptation.
Yes. Of wanting to, like, tell everyone in town, even though it oozed out.
Which is also, like, that is a fundamental Christmas narrative, I think. Is, like, having the forbearance to not want too much. And so then you get the right amount.
Yes.
Yes.
By not wanting.
Mm-hmm.
Or even a step further by, like, eschewing.
Yes.
Or, like, turning down.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate.
Yeah. And then the fairy or the angel or whatever
is going to grant you extra because you said no.
Yeah. You cut your hair off to buy the watch and your lover bought the comb.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you know.
You get it. You shave your hair for your daughter and become a whore. And you...
Wait.
It's fine.
That wandered out of Christmas stories and into...
It went into Les Mis.
It did.
And you know what? There is a part of Les Mis that really should be a Christmas story.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I just feel like there's part of that narrative that really could exist at Christmas in a real way. But that's okay.
They could do, like, the thing they do for kids' movies where they'll have, like, a short seasonal spin-off of, like, the main thing. You know, there's, like, a Shrek Christmas special.
Yeah.
Well, we need the Les Mis Christmas special.
Yeah.
That takes place canonically within the narrative of Les Mis.
Or like Treehouse of Horrors, like The Simpsons. And it's several little vignettes.
Sure.
You know, Thénardier's at Christmas. Eponine at Christmas. A Little Fall of Snow. Anyone? These are just free ideas.
We need to start doing that for other great works of literature.
Sure.
A Karenina Christmas.
I like to think of them all as, like, so dumbed down to be, like, children's board books.
Yeah. What would be the most, like, offensive great work of literature to do, like, a wholesome Christmas?
Oh, that terrible Mary Shelley you made me do earlier this year. Last Man on Earth.
The Last Man's Christmas?
Yeah, Last Man's Christmas. The virus comes for us all.
There is... Isn't there? No, there is an extended Christmas sequence in that novel.
There is, but I'm just...
And everyone dies.
Yeah. I'm saying dumb it down for a children's board book. That's the most offensive. We've done it already. And it was me. Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, it's that or either Cormac McCarthy's Blood Meridian. Or Child of God, another very upsetting Cormac McCarthy book. Blood Meridian. The Judge's Christmas. Judge's Christmas Tale.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Yeah. At the Blood Meridian.
Good. Those are good contenders. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
All right.
So, a question about Charlotte.
Yeah.
Was this published as part of, like, a greater set of stories, or was this in like
This was in a magazine.
a magazine?
Yeah. And I don't know a ton about Charlotte. This came from one of the British Library's Tales of the Weird
We love the British Library.
collections. We are obsessed with the British Library. British Library, if you're reading, if you hear this,
If anyone's listening.
send me your books. I have to wait too long for them to make it to the States.
So if like
Very hard to find.
if you want to reward us for the vengeance work that we are going to be doing this Christmas season, you could, though we're not asking, but you could
You could.
send an unboxing
Yeah.
box for us to unbox.
Please. I know for a fact that you have released several collections of stories that I have not yet been able to acquire, and I'm sad about it.
And we're pure people.
We're pure of heart.
We're pure of heart people who deserve nice books.
We're part of the downwardly mobile, not quite middle class.
So, just saying. Just saying.
Just saying.
Merry Christmas to us.
But this one was from Chill Tidings, Dark Tales of the Christmas Season, edited by Tanya Kirk.
I love that.
It's a great collection. I have like 3 or 4 of these collections, and I recommend them all. Specifically like seasonal, wintry.
We love a
Christmassy.
wintry little story. Sure.
Yeah. And so all I have, as we are on hiatusodes, I did not do my supplementary research. So all I have about Charlotte is from the little introduction to her short story, which I've already relayed to you mostly in terms of her piece of shit father and her piece of shit husband and the need to be a working writer so that she didn't starve to death. Because she too was part of the downwardly mobile middle class.
Yeah, I think she's like, I'm Claire.
Yes. And wouldn't it be nice if someone gave me an estate
Because I'm pure of heart.
as a Christmas miracle?
Yeah.
Listeners, I hope someone gives you an estate as a Christmas miracle.
Wow. What would that even be like?
I mean, the problem is, it's not particularly moral to live off of an estate anymore. You
No.
can't, estates are more of a drain than a boon.
I'm just thinking, like, what if someone just gave you a piece of real estate for Christmas?
That'd be nice.
That's the American version.
That's a thing people do.
I know.
And a thing like fairly ordinary people used to do. Like, I know people of my parents' generation who were given like
Land or
homes
house. Yeah.
and land as like wedding gifts.
Well, I also think, we used to generationally pass property down in a way that we don't anymore.
No, we don't do that now. No. In part because elder care is cripplingly expensive.
True.
And in part because boomers are living forever, and also their entire worldview appears to be, "F you, I got mine."
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Now, they're not getting no Christmas miracle.
No Christmas miracles for boomers. Sorry, boomers.
You've had yours. It's time for us to have Christmas miracles.
Yeah.
It's time for the downtrodden millennials to have Christmas miracles.
It's interesting because I think, to step back broadly, I think Christmas media is a very good way to track sort of where the middle class thinks it is. Right? So, like, you look at the stuff that came out when you and I were kids that was aimed at our parents, right? And you've got, like, Christmas Vacation and Home Alone, these things that are very much about the sanctity of the American suburban castle, right? Like, Clark Griswold's whole thing is that he doesn't feel respected.
Yeah, and Macaulay Culkin has to protect his family's incredibly, like, swank Chicago suburb house.
Yes, and, like, that is not a mistake. John Hughes is actually, if you read into it, John Hughes is, like, kind of a fascist. Like,
Great.
Fascinating if you go into John Hughes's, like, political outlook. Absolutely wild.
I also think part of it is, like, I feel like Christmas movies coming out every year, or like there being new Christmas content, was very much a part of like our childhood. Like, I remember Christmas stuff coming out, and I don't really, maybe it's my lack of fingers on the pulse of content, but I don't feel like they make the same type of like Christmas content as we used to get.
That's a good question. I mean, obviously
how media comes to us is very different.
Well, I was going to
now,
say, the Christmas dreck still gets made, right? Like,
there's the hallmarks.
Yeah. I will say, though, that neither of us are parents. And so, who knows? Like,
I'm
there's
sure
there's
still
probably
doing
a whole media ecosystem of mainstream major release
content. Sure.
film, like family films that you and I just wouldn't pay much
I just feel like
attention
they
to.
used to make like Christmas adjacent like rom-coms that came out in the theaters, like that were much more like bigger budget things, not like Hallmarky type stuff, but like Four Christmases, or there's like one of the Meet the Parents is sort of Christmas themed and like that sort of thing, and I just feel like they don't really do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I think that's part of what I was kind of building to is like, I've noticed that a lot of the Christmas stuff is more backwards looking now. We're getting more like, one of the big things that I think came out like last year or the year before was yet another remake of
Krampus.
No, oh my God.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Dickens.
Oh, Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. All my brain would give me was A Christmas Story. There was the big budget contemporary remake of A Christmas Carol with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds. It was not very good, but what it was extremely class conscious, because it was Ryan Reynolds as the sort of Scrooge insert adaptation, and he was like a lobbyist, like a soulless lobbyist.
All right.
And spoilers, if you really want to not have this movie spoiled for you,
this movie that's a tale as old as time,
that's like a couple years old and is an adaptation of a very well-known story. But what's really interesting is he dies at the end.
Oh.
And the movie explicitly says basically like that he has to die because he was such a piece of shit.
That's a real choice.
Which is fascinating. He like learns a lesson
and still
and
dies.
makes amends, but also still dies.
All right.
Because they're just like, nah, brah, you were too evil.
You were too bad, and so you don't get to live.
And I think that that's indicative of where we're at. You know?
It's interesting. I'm trying to think of any other like recent like new Christmas movies, and I'm kind of,
I feel like they're out there and we're just not.
It's very possible. I'm even thinking like Netflix series or I feel like so much of that content has turned into like, is it cake? Christmas edition. It's like a lot of that kind of stuff.
There is a lot of like reality stuff. Yeah. Well, and the stuff that I'm thinking of is probably older than I realize it is. Like, I think it's now been like 5 or 6 years since Klaus came out. Like, there's been some good stuff, but I have noticed over the last decade or so, the economic insecurity of our generation is 1,000% migrating into the Christmas media. We are economically insecure, we are frightened, and we are making Christmas movies about that experience. There's a very good one. Oh, I'm blanking on the title. It was an English animated movie, like for kids. And the whole conceit of it is that the children wind up completely alone on Christmas.
Oh.
Because their parents get get into an accident and are stranded by severe weather, and it's like 4 or 5 different families worth of children who then have to like band together and make their own Christmas and kind of like learn lessons about taking care of each other, and also about like being too hard on their parents and making do in the face of a crisis.
Yikes. I mean, like, good, but also just like,
and it was really good, but like, that's not Home Alone. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, no.
That is a completely different emotional wavelength.
And it's also not like Elf.
No.
You know, like, I feel like a lot of, to your point, it's like a sobering Christmas.
Yes.
It's not like silly comedy Christmas. It's not the Santa Claus.
Christmas is now a time when you are being reminded
It's
that
a
you
reflection time.
really need to be grateful for the people in your life who are like working themselves to the bone to try and give you opportunities in this life.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
And it's interesting because I think, you know, when this story was written, right, like the burgeoning Victorian middle class was on the upswing, right? Like this is like the 1980s, 1990s. The numbers will go up forever. We're unstoppable.
We're gonna live forever, baby.
We're all building new housing and nothing can stop us, and the English Empire will live forever.
And wait, did I just cough up blood in my handkerchief?
Don't worry about it.
Don't
It's fine.
worry. You're fine.
We have cheap consumer goods.
And that's what matters.
Which was very much the world that you and I spent our childhoods in, right? Like, number go uppy forever.
Mm-hmm. Show me that Toys R Us catalog.
Uh-huh. And I think that we're entering a new
An austere Christmas.
a new Christmas media environment, which is more reminiscent of the media that I think like our grandparents grew up with, which is more like the 1930s, 1940s, like...
Oh, is other stuff that's happening right now reminiscent of the 1930s and the 1940s? Asking for a friend.
I don't know.
Okay.
That's a little bit more about like, and that Christmas we got a pound of sugar from Santa.
I do feel like there's a return to like the community of Christmas.
Yeah.
And sort of it's more about the time that you spend and like the family and the friendship and like that piece of it, which I actually very much support. But it definitely is not the like consumer Christmas.
Yeah.
Of our childhood.
And I am such a godless heathen that I am only realizing just now, an hour and some change into us recording, that I need to clarify that in all of this I mean the like pretty overtly secular and secular adjacent Christmas media that sort of hand waves at the quote unquote reason for the season, but is not like super overtly religious.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is a whole other Christmas ecosystem that we are all familiar with and exhausted by. We're not talking about
We're
that.
talking about mainstream commercial Christmas.
Yeah, we're not talking about...
We're not talking about...
We're talking about Santa Claus and the Coca-Cola polar bear.
Yes.
And buying a Christmas tree even though you've never been to church in your entire life. Buying a Christmas tree even though you are Muslim or Jewish, which some people do because it's fun.
Sure.
We're not talking about...
I'm even speaking to the people that go to like midnight mass that one time a year, and that's the only real thing you do. But we're not talking to the reason for the season. We're
not talking to the Starbucks cup temper tantrum throwing evangelical, right? That's a whole other thing. And they have their own media.
Yeah.
And it's dreadful.
I don't know anything about it. I don't participate.
Yeah. So I just felt like I had to say that somewhere.
Good disclaimer.
That's my disclaimer.
Good disclaimer.
I'm of the opinion that Christmas at this point is a borderline completely secular holiday.
Yeah. And it's a totally like, it's a consumer holiday.
Yes.
Though I think there is no holiday left that's not a consumer holiday. So
no. Well, we live in a capitalism.
Late stage and thriving, baby.
What else? What else do we have?
What else do we have? Culture? Never heard of her.
Bullshit.
Money?
Who needs
it? Oh, Christmas. Christmas.
What are you looking forward to most this holiday season?
I very much enjoyed trying to have like at least a modicum of what I call as rot time.
Good.
End of season rot time, where you just like do as little as possible.
Yeah.
And it's like normally cold and you can be kind of cozy and like stay at home and do that. My husband and I make a tradition of our second date ever. he planned like a Christmas light tour for us, and he like made a Google map and he put pins on it and like mapped out this whole thing. And so every year we drive around and look at lights, and
That's very cute.
yes, it's very cute and very sweet, and I look forward to it every year. I'm going to try to craft more of my
Ooh,
gifts this
yeah.
year, and so I'm looking forward to that. What about you?
I am looking forward to the food.
Sure.
I have been, I don't know if you're aware, but the cost of groceries has gone through the roof.
What?
So I have actually been like squirreling away a little extra cash here and there so that I can be extravagant because I am a hedonist at heart, and your girl is looking forward to like some really nice wine and some really excellent ethically raised roast beast and things of that nature. Pate, soft cheeses.
I was about to say soft cheeses.
I am, yeah, that's, and to share that with my loved ones. I have a couple of extravagant meals planned with a few different people, and I am like over the moon about it.
I do love the eating.
I love the eating. One of my favorite things, I think, like in this life is spending like a whole day making an elaborate meal in good company and then sitting down and sharing that meal. Like it is just, it's so hard to beat, man. I don't really believe in like evolutionary psychology or whatever, but it feels like one of those things that we were like put on this earth to do.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I think as an accompaniment to this episode, we should go through some like Victorian era cookbooks
Ooh.
and plan a Victorian Christmas feast.
Yeah. Man, go read like some Dickens meal descriptions.
Yeah.
Dickens knew how to describe food. He was really good at it. Victorian literature is full of really beautiful like descriptions of like table spreads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe I'll put together a little newsletter.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
we could do like a little social post and like some menu items, some menu highlights.
We'll throw that on the Substack.
Yeah.
That'll be a good Christmas
Crossover.
December. Yeah. Well,
Do you believe in ghosts?
I don't not.
Okay.
I'm surrounded by enough people that I love who really do believe in ghosts
You're looking at one.
that it's hard for me to sort of poo-poo the notion as much as I would like to. And I have been in some places that were really uncanny. That being said, I don't really believe in a life after death. And those two things are mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
So
I'm in a similar boat, except that I really believe and also don't really believe in life after death at the same time. And so it is a contradiction, but it's one that I've just sort of accepted.
yeah, I think
I've seen them. And so it's like a hard thing to tell your brain that you just like made that up, because that's not great to think about either, that your brain just concocted that.
I mean, sometimes your brain just makes shit up.
It does.
But also, like, I think an important part of adulthood, of maturity, of living in this world, of Christmas even,
Sure.
is learning to live with two different things in your head. Like,
Two things can be true.
yeah, learning to live with a little bit of cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance gets a bad rep.
It's
It's not all bad.
not all bad. Sometimes you can know, for example, that a holiday has religious roots that you fundamentally disagree with, but also know that it is a time of year that we have all culturally agreed is a great time to spend time with your friends and loved ones and to let them know how much they mean to you. And you can like keep both of those concepts in your head at once.
Yes.
Yeah.
And on that note, Christmas. Ghosts.
Happy holidays. Festive night well.
Whatever the holiday season means for you,
Exactly.
enjoy it with a ghost story.
We hope you're enjoying it. We hope you get some ghost stories.
We hope that you watch Muppet Christmas Carol.
We hope that you have some really good meals
Yeah,
in
I hope
good company.
you eat some delicious food with someone that you greatly enjoy.
If you are working, we hope you get time and a half
Yes.
or more.
Or more.
Yeah. Stack that overtime.
We love that. And because of some new tax regulations, maybe not get taxed on that overtime.
All right. Maddie, Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Of course. My pleasure. What a treat.
What a treat indeed. This was lovely. You being here is always a treat.
This is just like a treat for myself. Treat for me.
It's a treat it's a mutual treat.
Yes.
And thank all of you for being here. It's such a treat to be with you, even during our hiatus. We will be back in the new year with more hiatusodes of some kind.
Yes.
We will be on the Substack, gracetodd.substack.com, with something, possibly some great Victorian eating content.
Yes, please.
We hope that you are having a wonderful time. And we hope that, if you can, this week, this month, this holiday season, this pay period, as you are shopping for gifts, consider supporting a living author. Buy your loved one's books. Put an inscription in that book. I was actually having a conversation with somebody recently about how not enough people do that anymore. If you give someone a book, right in the front, say, Dear Emma, happy holidays. I thought this made me think of you. XOXO. Grace.
And even if you don't really think about it for that person, think about it for the person who's going to buy that book used from a used bookstore in like 30 years and see that inscription and be like, oh.
Yeah.
I was rearranging books just this past weekend. Pulled out, I have the 2-volume edition of Grant's memoirs from 1905. It's like a very old copy. And in the front is an inscription from one man to another. It says, from one old soldier to another. Be that person.
Be that person. Every time I pick up a book off my shelf that was gifted to me and it has an inscription in it, I pause and I look at it and I'm like, that's so nice.
Someone loves me.
Yeah.
And if you love someone, buy them a book.
Yeah. Support a living author.
And don't buy it from Amazon.
No, don't do that.
If you need to buy it online, buy it from bookshop.org.
Yes. So there we go. Support a living author in those ways and put an inscription in the book because they, like us all, could really, really use the love. Bye.
Bye.
Didn't Read It was created, written, researched, and recorded by me, Grace Todd. Maddie Wood is our co-producer and social media maven. Our theme song is Books 2.0, written, performed, and recorded by William Albritton. Our logo was designed and illustrated by the incredibly talented Jess Versus. Special thanks to Black Iris Social Club in Richmond, Virginia. Reach out to us with questions, concerns, or academic scrutiny at didntreaditpod@gmail.com.